The new ERK kit from Indian Springs Manufacturing. Obviously this isn't a new kit. This is our testing kit and our training kit we take on the road with us and train emergency responders with, so it's got some use. And you can see that not all the components are here. Today we're going to do a short video showing how the yoke assembly and the hoods go onto a chlorine housing. So we don't have all the tools and equipment out, but we have the three major components. The first being the yoke assembly 18C, the 5 capping hoods, and their corresponding Viton and EPDM gaskets. Each hood comes with a brass outlet valve. It's a standard 1-ton chlorine brass valve that can be opened with a standard chlorine valve wrench that's included in the kit. And each hood has a set of Viton and EPDM gaskets. The Viton gaskets always being black and the EPDM gaskets a light gray. We recommend use of the Viton gaskets with chlorine and EPDM for use with chemicals such as ammonia and sulfur dioxide. We ship the hoods in the emergency kit box with the Viton gaskets on the hoods to protect the sealing surface of the hoods. And you can notice on this one hood, the 54A, there's actually a piece of tape, which is a little trick we use to keep the gasket on during application of the hood so it doesn't fall off and won't hurt the sealing as long as it's not underneath the underside of the hood. As mentioned, there are 5 capping hoods for different size valves, pressure relief devices, and other tank car housing devices. These 2 standard hoods are the 30A and the 46A. These are designed to be used on chlorine angle valves and pressure relief devices. They are designed similar to the 6A and 24A in your standard C kit. In fact, the 30A uses the 6BMV gasket and the 6BEP gasket that are standard for the C kit. These hoods will fit on your standard angle valves on a chlorine rail car and the pressure relief device. These hoods will also fit other devices on other housings as well. Yoke 18C is fully adjustable. It has a fixed end and an adjustable end here. It will adjust out to 28 inches, which is a standard chlorine housing, and then all the way out to a maximum of 38 inches. Each end has a patented clamping jaw with 5 fixed grippers and 1 rotating gripper in the hand screw. The center bolt assembly is adjustable as well. It will slide back and forth the length of the yoke. It has 5 bolts. The 4 exterior bolts have rotating tips. And there's a thumb screw that can be used to keep and lock the unit so it doesn't slide, as well as the sliding end has a thumb screw as well. One thing we want to ensure with the yoke assembly is that the length of the clamping jaws are the same when stored in the box. So when we get it on the housing, if we do need to raise or lower, we can adjust the height of the clamping jaw, changing the adjuster in full turns so that we can tell the partner to adjust the same number of full turns. We can use our hands to rotate the adjuster, or it also has a knob that fits the box end of the 200 wrench that's included in the kit. The standard chlorine housing has 4 product valves and 1 pressure relief device in the center. Hood 30A and gasket 6BMV is designed to fit over the product valve. Hood 46A and gasket 46 BMV are designed to fit over the pressure relief device. Containing a leak on a product valve in a standard chlorine housing will require yoke assembly 18C, hood 30A, and gasket 6 BMV. We're going to demonstrate containing a leak on an angle valve on a standard chlorine valve housing. The first step in containing any leak is preparing the sealing surface around the leaking valve. We're going to assume that this valve is leaking here, and we're going to use our paint scraper, our wire brush, our rags, anything that we can use to clean the sealing surface around the valve, the leaking valve. This is the most critical step in containing a leak on any valve. We're also going to have to prepare the valve as well by removing the outlet plug on the valve, and in some cases with other valves and other housings we may also need to remove the valve outlet faceplate and the hand wheel of the valve, depending if we need the clearance to fit the hood over the top. After preparing the sealing surface and the valve, we are going to choose our hood, which is going to be 30A, and our gasket 6 BMV, and we're going to have to prepare the hood. We're going to use our chlorine valve wrench, which is the most important tool in all the kits. The chlorine valve wrench not only opens and closes chlorine cylinder and ton container valves, and we're going to open this valve on our hood with one full turn and remove the outlet cap with the other end of the wrench. But this wrench is also designed to fit every bolt on every kit, and is the first wrench that we always use to tighten down the hoods. If we need further torque, we can also use the adjustable wrench in the ERK. Next, we're going to place gasket 6 BMV, the Viton gasket, on our hood 30A. It should fit nice and snug, and we're going to put a couple extra pieces of tape on there. And we're going to place hood 30A with the valve open and the 6 BMV gasket over our leaking valve. To apply yoke assembly 18C, we're going to bring it over to the housing and set the fixed end on the housing first. Now, it doesn't really matter where the fixed end is set, but you'd want to line it up so that the adjusting end is not in line with the housing lid. We're going to set up away from the hood, and we're going to tighten the clamping jaw on the fixed end hand tight, and then we're going to use our valve wrench and get a half to a full turn. If you need more torque, we can use the adjustable wrench as well. We want to make sure that we get a good bite and that the clamping jaw is level. Next, we're going to move the adjustable end until the center dimple on the hood can be seen between the channels of the yoke assembly. Once the adjustable end is aligned, we're going to tighten the clamping jaw, hand tight, and use our valve wrench to go a half to full turn. And if we need more torque, we'll use the adjustable wrench. We want to ensure that we get really a good bite against the side of the housing. Now, if we needed to raise the whole unit, we would use the valve wrench on the top of the adjuster and turn in full turns, keeping track as we change the height of the yoke assembly. This way we'll be sure to always have it level. Now, with the yoke assembly aligned over the dimple of the hood, we're going to slide the center bolt assembly until the center bolt aligns with the hood dimple. Once aligned, we can tighten the 4 outside bolts until they touch the hood top. Once touching the top of the hood, we're going to use our valve wrench and alternately tighten the 4 exterior bolts while keeping the center bolt hand tight at all times. Once the leak is stopped, we're going to use our valve wrench to close the outlet valve and put our outlet cap on. And then we would check for leaks. Notice we applied the yoke assembly at its shortest distance, which is ideal for containing a leak on a valve. Typically, a manhole outlet port would have to be used either 12 to 6 or 3 to 9, depending on which valve you are containing. With this device, it leaves the rest of the housing open so that the other valves can be accessed. But the yoke assembly can be placed anywhere on the housing.